through 02046847898 right here on the Ryde channel. Like I always say, we don't take this show lightly. If we can come to you, we take it very, very serious, because we believe that it's our calling to give you all the information you need to enhance your motoring experience right here on the Ryde channel. If you are not subscribed to the Ryde channel, please do so now. Just take a pause and subscribe. You can like this live session. You can also take the link and forward it to somebody so that person can also watch and participate in this show. 02046847898. You can call on this line. You can send your messages, your WhatsApp messages. You can also send voice notes through WhatsApp, and we will play it live on the show. All right, today I'm running solo, and let's just dive into the topic, the do's and don'ts. Okay, auto do's and don'ts. Auto do's and don'ts. And we are starting with the don'ts, the things you should not do. Okay, the things you should not do. Okay, when you are driving the car, riding a motorcycle, you are walking as a pedestrian, on the road. Some of the things that you should not do. We're talking about right here on the Ryde channel. Right here on the Ryde channel. Okay, so number one, aggressive driving. Aggressive. Aggressive. Giddy, 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 giddy. Where are you going? Yes. Cars are for moving from point A to point B, like I said in the introduction, but you have to do so in safety. You have to do so in a manner that you arrive home or wherever you are going to do what you are supposed to be doing. Okay, if you are going to be driving aggressive, apart from the safety aspect, there are several things that can happen. Okay, number one, you yourself, you are going to wear yourself out. So if it's on a longer trip, because you are aggressive, your brain is working overtime to make sure that your eyes are on the road. You are concentrating and doing everything right within the driving, to get you where you're going. And when that happens, it tires you out. It wears you out physically and mentally. So when it comes to aggressive driving, that is number one thing I'm going to say. It wears you out. Okay, you are going to be tired in your brain, and once you get tired, you start making mistakes. Okay, now let us take Formula One. Yes, today we saw the Shanghai, Grand Prix. It was an awesome race, and as usual for this time, Verstappen won the race. But let me say this again. Now when you take Formula One today, like this, they did, I think, 56 laps. Okay. So a lap is a complete circumnavigation of the racetrack. All right. So it's not so much as to who is fastest for one lap, but you have to be fast 56 times. Okay. And that is where the difficulty is. And you are doing so with other people sharing the same road with you. You are doing so with other people who also want to be first and are also driving, aggressively, in quotations, because yes, even in the race, sometimes they can penalize people for driving aggressively. Yes, in Formula One, yes, sometimes they can cite people for driving aggressively for some maneuvers and stuff like that. So when it comes to aggressive driving, it is number one. And you see, the thing about aggressive driving is that some people do it so much that it becomes their attitude. And like I've said on this show before, when it comes to maintaining the quality, maintaining the condition of your car, all right, number one, and when it comes to safety, number one is attitude. All right, and when it comes to aggressive driving, it will also fall under your attitude as aggressive driving. When you are driving aggressively, it means that you have to be accelerating very hard. The car is designed to move, and based on or depending on the kind of car that you have, it is designed to operate within certain parameters. But the car is not designed to be hitting its top speed or giving you full power from the engine at all times. No. That is why you see you have a rev range, and when you see the rev range, you realize that there is a place that is marked in red. So if you say send it, they every time you have to redline your car before you change the gear. Please, occasionally you can do that, but if you are doing that every time, your car is going to wear out prematurely. When you take Formula One, for example, they drive are very aggressive, they move the cars. Okay, but I can tell you, Formula One, they use sometimes after a race, they rebuild the entire engine sometimes, and it's fairly normal. But it's very abnormal for you to be driving your car every day, and every now and then you have to be rebuilding your engine or changing your engine or things like that. No, you can't be doing that. You have to, drive less aggressively. Okay, you have to drive less aggressively. You accelerate gently and slow down gently. All right, anytime you accelerate hard, it also means that when it comes to slowing down your braking system, when the car is always working hard, it means that there's going to be a lot of heat being produced, and so long as you avoid aggressive driving. Another thing that you have to note also is take on your fuel consumption. Okay, your car is designed to constantly, driving aggressively. You are putting too much stress, or what you are doing is that your car is giving out a lot of fuel, because the engine works in such a way that as you are pressing the accelerator, the car is also letting in a lot of fuel and a lot of air, so that it can give big explosions in the engine to give you big power. Okay, power. But when you are doing it, you have to be thinking about the hits that your fuel consumption is going to take. And for me, I like cars. I like to go fast sometimes, but I hate to pay a lot of money at the filling station. So anytime I want to drive fast, I have to think carefully about it. And you see, if we are driving fast, in what context? Okay, in what context? I have had an opportunity to drive on the Top Gear racetrack in Surrey. Okay, and I can tell you, please, if you want to drive really, really, really fast, look for a racetrack. The street is not the place for racing or for driving excessively, aggressively, and fast. No, that is not it. And even the cars to do that in, you need special cars that are designed to take that sort of abuse. So you want to keep it on a racetrack and in a special car. Okay, then when you do aggressive driving also, you tend to annoy other drivers. And when lots of people are, upset with you on the road, it becomes a very stressful situation, and simple things can easily happen. No, please, let us not do so. The slightest thing, an accident happens. It's not one thing that causes an accident. Usually, there is a string of unfortunate events that will take place for a catastrophic accident to happen. And like I will say, if you are driving less aggressively, then all your faculties are there, all your instincts and everything is there, and it is very, very easy for you to avoid situations that can get very, very bad. So please, number one, avoid aggressive driving. Avoid aggressive driving. Number two, never drive under the influence. Okay, never drive under the influence. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Don't drive under the influence of any substance that will impair your judgment. Some people say that when they take something, they are much more alert. Please, it is not true. It is not true. It is scientifically proven that when you take in something, you lose your reflexes, becomes dull, and a whole lot of things can escalate very, very, very quickly. I think that sometimes it makes you feel like you are superhuman. So you can do crazy things and always get away with it. And that one day will be a very terrible, situation, and we don't want that. So please don't drive under the influence of alcohol. drugs, or any other kind of substances that will impair your cognitive skills and your motor skills, for that matter. You say psychomotor skills. Yes, when you learn psychology in school, they go teach you those things. Yeah. Yes, this is the right channel. You hear some things, so we've learned some things before, but now we're talking cars, and it's very important that we tell you some of these things so that you can enjoy your motoring experience. Sometimes you think you are having fun. Okay, so you go out, you take a few, and you want to drive, and things can escalate, and that nice, situation can quickly escalate into a very, very stressful situation. It can even escalate into such a way that you're going to lose your freedom, and I don't want you to lose your freedom. I need you to be around so that you can subscribe to the Ryde channel, so that you can always watch our videos. You can send us messages and interact with you. If you are watching, please, you can send us your voice notes. You can send us your text messages to our WhatsApp line 020-468-4798, 020-468-4798. This is the Ryde channel. So we've done two don'ts. All right, so we are going to go on the third, and that is overload. Ghana for more overload. Ghana people, you like overloading cars too much, and I'm even going to add a certain angle to it. I'm going to add another angle to it. Yeah. Don't overload your vehicle. Now, what is overload? When we talk about overloading, every car, every vehicle manufactured has a certain weight that it can carry. That weight includes the weight of the occupants as well as every other cargo that did not come with the car. So even the car, before the car comes out from the factory, it's already carrying a load. Okay, the engine is a load, the fuel tank is a load. Okay, the radiator with coolant in it, the transmission with whatever in it, all of those things are loads that the car is already carrying. So the engineer has factored all that into it. Now, when you add additional load, your sister is inside, your brother, then you load 5 back, 3 front. Okay. They have calculated all these things. All right, then you put luggage, some full boots. You strap some things on the boots, strap some things on the roof. Yes, the parcel shelf. The parcel shelf is that place behind the back seat. If it's a salon vehicle, that's a parcel shelf. If it's a hatchback also, sometimes you have a cover between the back seat and the hatch at the back. Okay, those things are the parcel shelves, and sometimes you load things over there as well. Please. Some people say that unless the car can't move, we are loading the car. Okay, now there are so many negatives that happens. Number one, the car is not designed to carry that load. Okay, so number one, the car can't accelerate adequately. Now you see, sometimes it's very easy for us to see acceleration as something, but acceleration also can be a safety feature. Okay, when there is danger coming and you want to get out of the way, you have to accelerate to get out of the way. Okay, so acceleration of your car is important. So if you overload your car, a car has lost its brakes and it's coming down the street, and because you have overloaded, you cannot accelerate. It's going to be a dangerous situation. Okay, all right, so acceleration will be reduced because of excess load. Number two, braking distance is also going to be increased. So if your car, anytime you drive, let's say you are driving at 40 kilometers per hour and you hit the brake pedal, if it's going to take, let's say, 30 minutes, 30 meters. I think for most cars, the sweet spot is between 35 to 25 meters braking distance, and if you load too much, okay, your car will definitely have to go a longer distance before it stops. So imagine you approaching a T junction. Okay, your part of the road is green, so you are going for it. All right, but you are fully loaded and the car crosses you, so you have to brake. Because you are carrying a load, you need more than 35, 50, 40, 60 kilometers before you can slow down. Okay, sorry, meters before you can slow down. That is not good enough. You are going to end up in a head-on collision with a car just because you have overloaded your car or your vehicle, and because of that you couldn't stop in reasonable distance. Okay, if you overload your car also, it is also going to take a toll on your fuel consumption. Now, when you are buying the car, you expect a certain level of fuel consumption from your car. Usually it is measured in miles per gallon, okay, or liters per 100 kilometers, depending on which side of the world you live. Okay, it will be stated in your spec sheets as well as your user manuals. All right, now if you read all these things and you don't stick to all these things and you overload your car is going to have poor fuel mileage. Okay, and talking about this, I'll talk about those of us, because sometimes I'm included. Okay, some of us always have load, okay, passive load in our cars. We are schooling, so we have textbooks upon textbooks piled in our cars. Okay, the ladies have shoes upon shoes, makeup boxes upon makeup boxes, jewelry upon jewelry. They always have them packed in the boot of their cars, nicely arranged, so that anytime they have to dress up, they can easily transform themselves and they'll be ready. They'll be ready to go somewhere. So they're always carrying passive load. Some of us also, because of what we do, we're always carrying camera gear in our cars. Apart from the safety aspect, it is also excess load that you are carrying. Okay, and that is also going to increase your fuel consumption, and it's not good enough. Okay, and because you have that load, immediately you carry 1, 2, 3 people, then the car is overloaded. So you have to have all these things in mind. So don't overload your vehicle. Do not overload your vehicle. All right, do not overload your vehicle. Yes, now we go on to number 4. Distractions. When we talk about distractions, what are distractions? Anything that will take your eyes off the road. Okay, your eyes and your attention off the road. Now, I always say this: when you are driving, it takes more than just your eyes, okay, and your mind. Okay, all your senses should be involved, because sometimes what will alert you to something going really, really bad is a smell. Okay, sometimes what will alert you to something going really, really bad is your ears. Okay, so if you are driving, yes, good sound whilst you are driving is good, but it shouldn't be overly loud that it overshadows every other sound. Okay, then the smells, there are different kinds of smells. Smell is so important that manufacturers actually engineer different kinds of aromas into the car. So if you have experienced Mercedes-Benz and BMW, for example, they always have a certain kind of smell, and I can tell you they have some people employed, and it is their job to engineer that smell into the cars. Awesome, eh? Yes, if you are buying a luxury car, you're not just buying a mobility solution, you are buying a whole experience. So they are giving you the experience in this manner. Yes, so you want to avoid distractions, anything that will take your mind, your eyes, your ears, your smell. I'll say all your senses. Sometimes it's temperature, you feel it. You know how your car feels when you are driving in it. Okay, all right, now you are driving and the AC stops cooling. Don't just say that it's the AC that has stopped cooling or my AC is not. Sometimes you have to look at the temperature gauge. Sometimes all it takes is for you to look at that temperature gauge, because now your car is warming up a bit. Okay, and if you don't have AC, sometimes you know how your car feels when you are driving it, even on a hot day. Now, if you feel a lot of heat coming from under the car, it might be a signal that there's something amiss somewhere. If you have a lot of heat coming through the vents when the AC is off, it might be a hint of something terribly happening. Okay, so ignore distractions. keep your eyes on the road, like Reggie Rockstone said. Keep your eyes on the road. It's Rockstone. Yes, keep your eyes on the road. Not just your eyes, but your whole being should be on the road. Okay? Yes, sometimes if you have somebody sitting with you and you are chit-chatting every now and then, it helps. But that chat shouldn't take majority of your mind. In fact, I would say that avoid certain topics when you are driving, because sometimes it can be so heated, or the discussion can be so interesting that it will take your emotions, it will take your mind and your eyes and senses off the road. And some of the people who have been lovey-shating in the car, please, you are warned. You are doing Romy in the car, you are warned. Yes. Sometimes it can lead to terrible things, So avoid distractions. I always tell you, when I'm riding a motorbike and I smell Killy Willy Seller, I slow down. Because sometimes when you're passing around and the wind just blows that hot air infested with the paposhito and things, and it gets into your helmet, it can blind you. And by the time you realize you are in the back of a car. And these are some of the things. All your senses have to be alive when you are driving or riding a motorcycle. So please ignore distractions. Ignore distractions. Now, talking about distractions, also, like I said, when it comes to playing music and such, you also have to know how the car sounds, because sometimes the sound, the engine note of your car changing is what will alert you to a possible issue. Okay? The engine note of your car changing, okay, is what will alert you to a possible problem. All right, so please make sure that you can hear your car very well. Make sure you are accustomed and you are familiar with the way your car sounds when you are accelerating, when you are slowing down, when you are cruising, when you are braking. You have to know how your car always sounds. All right, then the smells as well. And please don't ignore those signs when you are familiar with them and they come up. Don't take your focus off the road. Keep your focus on the road when you are driving. When you are driving, you have your life in your hand. You have the life of other people. Even if they are not sitting in your car, you might have other people, pedestrians walking along the road, other drivers also sharing the road with you, and their life is in your hand. So don't just think about yourself alone. Think about everybody. We are talking about auto do's and don'ts, and we started with the don'ts. Okay, if you are listening, you can send us your do's and don'ts. Yes, you can send us your do's and don'ts to our WhatsApp line 0204684798, 0204684798. You can send us a voice note, you can send us WhatsApp text, and you can also do callings into the studio live. Okay, I'm here alone, but I know you are all with me, so please send them quick and fast and contribute to the discussion today. All right, this is the Ryde channel. If you are not subscribed, make sure you have subscribed, and make sure you like. Also share this link with your friends, and let's keep them all updated so that they can enjoy their motoring experience as well. Yes, last but not least of what I've listed is preventive care. Things that you do on your car, the things that you do to take care of your car. Don't prevent them. Okay, so don't skip preventive care. Okay, anytime all these issues, you sense these issues, you sense that issues. When I got the car, when I step on the brake, this is how it stops. You are familiar with that. Okay, so if maybe you are driving and it's not doing that quickly, it alerts you to a certain problem. Please don't skip it. That hint that you got might be what will save your life. All right, so please, your preventive care, your lights that are not working, your the engine sounds like I spoke about, temperatures and all the things. Sometimes it's the road. That's an external thing that you can't control. Okay, but you can control how you drive on that road. Okay, you can have a very healthy car, but you are driving on a bad road, and you are driving as if you are a rally driver, yes, really you hit a pothole, you get a puncture, your tire gets burst, and you can lose control of your car, and that enjoyable situation will end up in a very, very terrible, stressful situation. And I know that you don't want that. Okay, I know you don't want that. So let us avoid, skipping preventive care, all the things that you do to your car as preventive care. We've spoken about some of them when we talked about how to choose a mechanic, when we spoke about servicing. Okay, we mentioned all these things, and please, you want to take all these things on board, and please don't forget. All right. Okay. So we're keeping the show going, and we are talking about auto do's and don'ts. Auto do's and don'ts. Yes. So we're talking about the don'ts. So we are going to the do's. The do's of auto use. The things that you should do. The things that you should. If you just joined us, this is the Ryde channel, and we are talking about auto do's and don'ts. Our WhatsApp line 02046844798, 020684798. Please send your questions, send your contributions to the topic that we are discussing. I know you should. Okay, so yes, let's contribute. Let's contribute, and let's have a good time on the show. Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to load the website for you. Okay. Yep. All right. So let's go with do's. Number 1, regular maintenance. Check and change the oil of your engine oil so that the car runs smoothly. Check fluid levels, including brake fluid, coolant, transmission fluid periodically. Inspect and maintain tire pressure and tread depth to prevent blowouts and improve your performance. Some of the notes that I put down for the show. Okay, so do's of auto use, or auto do's, the good things, good practices to do. So we are talking about regular maintenance. Apart from maintenance, maintaining the value, of your car, and ensuring that when it comes to, selling your car, you can get a good, return on your investment. It is also something that you do to save your life. Okay, by regularly checking your car. Imagining you traversing an intersection, a very busy intersection, and your engine just stalls. Okay, and your engine just stalls. That is a recipe for disaster, and I don't want that for you. I don't want that for myself. I don't want that for you. So please make sure your car is maintained very, very, very well. We've spoken at length what goes into servicing. So we've talked about oil changes. We are talking about coolant flashes. We are talking about brake service. All the things that the manufacturer has dictated as part of servicing of your car, based on the mileage that these things are supposed to happen. Just do that. And another thing that I want to talk about by extension, some of us, when we are buying the car, when we are acquiring a car, we don't factor in how much it will cost. How much it will cost to service the car. So people go in for certain cars and they cannot service the cars adequately because it's above their pay grade. They overbought the car. They bought a car that they cannot afford to maintain. And when that happens, the car is